Hello, welcome to another Life with R&D. I'm Ron.
And I'm Deidre.
We're glad that you've joined us. One of the topics we wanted to share or talk about, and this would be something that, going on the purpose of doing Life with R&D is for our future grandchildren to know something about their grandparents. And some of them we might not get to see or might not be... they might not be that old. It just depends on how the Lord leaves us on this earth, how long. But
with our right mind.
Yeah, with our right mind. So the topic of how did we meet? So how did you and I meet? Share that, Deidre B.
Well, Pam Rory introduced us. She was one of my sorority sisters. She was a chaplain for our sorority, very respected.
She was a cousin of mine. A second cousin.
Yes, and Ron was in a good fraternity, had a good reputation on campus, and he had a good reputation among people. So she said, well, you need to, I think you and my cousin Ronnie would hit it off, because they all called you Ronnie.
I was Ronnie back then.
Ronnie Branscombe. And so, and you played basketball there, so everybody knew you. Some of my sorority sisters had a crush on you. Some of the little beauty queens, they had a crush. But anyway,
let's stick with the story.
So she introduced us. No, those squirrel things that I do are sometimes the best things that come out of my mouth.
Okay. So she introduced us?
Yeah, she introduced us at the greenhouse party, because where we went to college, the parties on the weekends and even weeknights was at an old greenhouse.
Yeah.
Just right outside of town, big field where everybody could park, and a big old greenhouse. We'd have a DJ in there playing music and
good old UCA days. So she introduced us, and we it was a year later though before we even started dating.
Was it that long?
Yeah, it was. It was about a year later.
Gosh.
And so, but it stuck.
Yes.
So Pam, thanks for introducing us.
Good job, Pam.
So
you nailed it.
Anything else you want to add to that story of how we
met?
You
definitely should tell the part about how you and Pam met, because y'all were distant cousins.
I don't think we got enough time for that story.
Yeah, we do. No. Absolutely. We have to tell it.
We don't. Let's do this though. Let's talk about we met.
You have to tell it.
Almost a year later, we crossed paths again at the greenhouse.
Yes.
And we had a dance, little dance, and so you and I danced, and we got to talking, and I was very interested. You were very interested in getting to know each other more. And then I get a phone call maybe a day or two later. Was it about a couple of days? Probably after that. Asking me for advice on business, what business classes Deidre should take.
As electives. I had to take certain electives. I had to take a certain number of electives.
She was not a business major. I read right and saw right through it. But through that, you wind up inviting me over for dinner.
That's right.
And that was our very first date. And
yes,
now we're married 29 years later with 7 kiddos and loving life.
Yes.
So
having fun.
Yes. We'll share the cousin story for another.
Oh, Ron, you have to tell it.
For another episode of Life with R&D.
No, tell it here. Tell it here.
No, let's save it for another one.
You have to tell it.
This relationship is very important. Okay, but there's a much more. There's another relationship that is much more important than this relationship, and that's one with Jesus Christ. And so, knowing like when was the first time you met Christ, or when did Christ impact your life, is really a great miracle story. And hopefully that has happened for you. If not, we pray that you will seek Christ. You'll pick up a Bible, and if you have any questions about that, just message us back. So, All right.
Start with the Book of John. You think?
Yeah, Book of John's a good one to start with. But just start.
Just get started.
Seek the Lord. All right, we'll close up. Thanks for joining us. You'll have to come
You're
back
not gonna tell
You'll
the
have to come back for
story.
another story
Oh!
with Life with R&D. Later. Bye.
Bye.